Hello lovelies, how are you all doing today? I hope you are well. I'm well. Well, ribs, I'll come on to ribs in a sec. Excuse the dishevelled state. It's a hot day and I've been trying to get things done, albeit slowly, because, right, let's talk about timings. Today's the 16th of June for me. You're probably going to see this in about 3 or 4 weeks, I'm not sure. But yeah, for me it's the 16th of June, Monday the 16th. So it's a week since I broke my ribs and they're still really sore, annoyingly. But never mind. In another couple of videos' time, I'll be showing you how I'm not going to let a couple of broken ribs stop me. No siree Bob. But it's definitely slowed down. It's kind of, with some things in the garden, we're going to have a garden tour in a sec and we'll show you where we're up to, or where I'm up to. But it's definitely halted some bits, you know, I'm halted in my tracks. There's no way I can do, like, there's heavy stuff I can't do. But never mind, there's plenty I can do when I get on. But also, just talking of, in terms of dates, so, I have to make a note for myself. Please bear in mind when we go and have a look at the garden now, I've been here for 2.5 months. It's 2.5 months since I moved in. And for the most of April, I was focusing on the front garden because, wow, that pyracantha. Plus, obviously, just moving in and unpacking and getting sorted out with doctor and all that kind of stuff. So the back garden, I didn't really get stuck into until the beginning of May. So it's 16th of June now, so it's about 6.5 weeks of effort has gone into this garden. The 23rd of April, St George's Day, was when I suddenly decided on a whim, oh, let's put some seeds in. Again, I'm mentioning this because I'm hoping you'll be pleasantly surprised. So the 23rd of April I sowed seeds. I've sown some subsequent to that, but that was my sort of tomatoes and squash, the main first sowing. When you saw me clearing the ivy with Paul, and I'd cleared my sunny bed by then, and I had my first little planting session in the sunny bed, that was the 25th of May. So it was only 4 weeks after sowing I was putting my first plants in. So, bearing that in mind when we go outside, the sunny bed was planted up 3 weeks ago. The grow bags and the black growing bags were planted up 2 weeks ago. So it's not a huge amount of time. So although you in your real lives in your real time, for you it's probably about the middle of July, so your gardens are probably miles ahead of mine. Just remember, for me it's the 16th of June and this is a garden which is about 6.5, 7-ish weeks old. So without further ado, let's just go and have a look, see where I'm at. It's so bright today. Look how bright it is. It's bright and it's getting on the hot side. Right, this corner. The main thing is, well, as you can see, I have done masses and masses and masses of clearing of rubbish, if you like. All the ivy and all sorts of stuff I've dug out and rubbish. There are piles everywhere. So for the last couple of weeks or so, I've tried every evening. Oh, that's the 3:15 just leaving. Yeah, I've tried pretty much every evening to do an hour of chopping. Chop, get it all chopped up nice and small so I can pack it away into small bags to get disposed of. But I still have, this is all the pyracantha that needs sawing, but obviously sawing is not sawing is not something I'm going to do for at least another, in my time, 5 weeks. In your time, hopefully towards the end of July is when I can start thinking about moving again. One job to get round to doing, I've just brought over here, this is all my bricks that were scattered around everywhere, they're just piled up here now. And I mentioned I've got this bit of wire, I need to shape it around the pipes. I just want to put it over my drain there. A, to stop any leaves going in, but B, I don't want any little amphibians to get in and then get trapped down there. So that will be shaped around the pipes. and then I'll put it on the bottom course of bricks there, and then bricks on top to sandwich it in. Oh, I'm sorry, I still catch my breath a bit. Now, this is an experiment. This wall doesn't get any direct sunlight all day, so it gets ambient light. So I've got here for my experiment, I've got 1 tomato, 1 dazzling blue kale, and 1 purple sprouting broccoli, just to see how they do. I was pinching out the other day, and oh, I think I forgot, did I pinch out this one? I can't remember, but look, little flower truss. Interesting to see if it comes to anything. And I did, in the end, I've planted up the little rambling rose that was from Richard and Paul's garden in London. I've planted it in that blue pot for now. Will it stay in that? I'm not sure. Yeah, it may do. And then it can go up the trellis. But the idea is eventually this whole area, obviously once all that's gone, this is where I want to have my table and chairs, so that part of the table will be in shade for shade lovers, part in sunshine for me. Yes, a lot of clearing and tidying has gone on in the last little while, including, let me show you where I'm up to with the patio. Gosh, this has been a lot of work clearing it, but now you can see the forest continues. Honestly, it's the roots of this grass are so tenacious. Even a little area like, say like that takes about an hour to do. So this has been about, in total, I don't know, maybe 6-8 hours. But it's cleared. But now you can see how, you might not be able to make out, but it's so uneven. Like here, this is one of the worst ones. Don't know if you can make out. Can you see what a difference that is where my finger is? I mean, that's got to be about a 3 centimetre dip. It's my washing line hole. But yeah, there's about 3 centimetres. That's gonna trip me up one day and break my ribs again. It wasn't that tripped me. Anyway, right, so yes, so obviously weeding the patio, I have taken out a couple of thugweeds from there, but as you can see I've left campanula and the ivy-leaved toad flax. The campanula is always chock-a-block. Oh, it's bending over, that hurts my ribs. I'm sorry. I haven't tried filming yet, so I'm just finding out live with you, as it were. Yeah, it's always chock full of bees, so they can stay. That pot I was about to empty out because it's got bindweed and other weeds in it. I wanted to empty it out to put that tomato in, and that's where it got left. Literally, that's the day I broke my ribs. So there's no way I'm lifting that and doing anything with it. I had a ton of spare tomatoes. I've given some away. Obviously that one behind me in the shade for the experiment, as you saw. Sorry, bringing you round. Also out front in the front garden I've got tomatoes and kale and cavolo and chard and calendula and escultia. So yeah, given some away, and I've plugged a couple of gaps here, but that one will probably give away now because I can't plant it in that. In doing the patio, I did leave this lovely love in a mist. Yes, so I've in the end I've done 3 more bags. So last time you saw it, there were the 2 grow bags, and I thought, oh, go on, let's fill another 3 bags. So another 3 tomatoes. They're all looking really well. The idea being that they're going to go up the wall and then they might just kind of flop a little bit. So I'll harvest from the snicket. How is the marjoram doing? I have been remembering to give it a drop of water. Sorry, it's quite dry. Everything's quite dry. That's some spare, what's that, dazzling blue kale, brassicas. Now I've got some pots, some terracotta pots dotted around the place. What have I got plans for? I'll come to the plans for those shortly, and I think that's probably something I can do, even though I'm broken. Now, these are my squash. That's the 3 I planted up with you guys on camera. So they got planted on the 31st of May. These are my stragglers, and oh, don't bend, I just remembered, don't bend. Sorry, that seagull just laughed at me. Shut up. I don't know, I think maybe it was just too cold in the evening, but they're looking really sorry for themselves and have done since they were planted, whereas the 2 stragglers are looking infinitely happier. They're much, sort of firmer green. Look, they're growing, the ones in the bags. Oh, I need to be able to bend. Let me see if I can bend and brace on my knee. Yeah, there's buds are forming, but not sure. Where you can spot a difference is the grow bag tomatoes. Mind you, there's a week between them. I was going to say the grow bag tomatoes, and look at them in the bed. Huge. Just before we get to the bed, some more sowings. This is, what have I got in here? Oh, that's some different lettuces that I'm using up. That's the Aquilegia. I'm trying a couple of nasturtium again, some more chives again, and that's my couple of trays of foxgloves. Oh, I hope something comes up. I didn't use both the packets. I've just used about half of one packet, so hopefully they'll come to something. Just tell how bright the sun is today by how sharp and pronounced my shadow is. Greetings. But yeah, look how this bed has filled out. Oh my goodness. Oh, and the verbena bonariensis. Oh, so pretty. So I've got 3 stalks on there. 2 are properly flowering now. There's a 3rd one to start flowering. Gorgeous. Underneath the tomatoes, well, I was going to say underneath, in the back, can you just make out there's the chard? Chard's doing really well. Brilliant. Tomatoes have already needed tying in. Oh, and it looks like they're all getting their flower trusses. Just that reminder that for me it's the 16th of June, and these have only been in 3 weeks. So hopefully by the time I release this video, mid-ish July, they'll actually be fruiting. So yeah, underneath there are beans, around the back there's chard, there's remains of the love in a mist flowers. It's a bit of a potager. It's a bit of a mix of everything, but everything seems to be rubbing along nicely together. For those on Facebook, remember I had a bunch of begonia from when my second cousin was removed and her mum came. They also brought me this. It's a red one. It's rose. One of these little ones you get at the supermarket. I know Richard and Paul have done really well with theirs on their kitchen windowsill. They gave me one. I immediately killed it. So this one I'm actually going to pot up. It's one of the things I'm going to pot up in the little terracotta pot, because I think that would look rather sweet. Leftover brassicas, which I'm not getting rid of quite yet because they might plug gaps. Fennel, yes, now I've got fennel in the bed somewhere, I'll show you, but I'm also going to take my strongest fennel and put a couple of them in a pot too, because it's such a beautiful plant with that gorgeous frondy, frothy foliage. I think it will look stunning. So, and I've got no bed space, so that's what I will do. This is the only thing I bought in terms of plants. I suddenly thought, I haven't taken any pelargonium cuttings this year from my indoor ones. I have now. I've got some cuttings on the go. They might be ready, oh gosh, in August. But I wanted to get something going now. So there's just 6 plants in there, and they're sort of mixed, bright colours. So again, sorry, just getting my breath. They'll go into the pots, and then the pots can be you know, depending on how they do and how they flower, the pots can be moved around. And with the fennel, as the fennel gets tall, it can go to the back, if it grows at all. I do love that little Lovner mist in the pavement, in the patio. So yes, there are a few things I can be getting on with, even with, I think I'll be able to manage this, even with my naughty ribs. That's all, well, it's some of the empty compost bags that I haven't thrown away, and I will use them to line the terracotta pots with, because, well, as any of you know, pots, well, you can water your pots in the morning and they're bone dry by afternoon, especially terracotta, so I use them as a lining to help retain the moisture. That's a bit of slate I found in one of my bits of clearing, which we're going to come to in a minute. I like a bit of slate. I don't know what I'll do with it at the moment. It's crying out for a label of some sort. Anyway, never mind the slate. Let's go behind, because... oh, so that's some of the fennel in there. Okay, light issues because it's very, very bright. So as that grows, it's going to come through. The idea is it's going to come through side to the side of this shrub and fill out this space. But next to it, this is my courgette. I'll show you the courgette Paul gave me in a second. But look, it's got its first fruit on it. I mean, I'm absolutely amazed, and that's why I went on at the beginning of the video about dates quite so much, because, like I said, you're watching this in the middle of July and you'll think, yeah, no big deal. But this seed was planted April 23rd. It's not even 2 months since the seed was planted. So April the 23rd, the seed was sown, should I say. May 25th, the plant was planted as a little thing in there. And 3 weeks later, here we are with the first fruit. And, oh, tons more to come. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just a male flower. That's a male flower. At least 4 more to come. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm going to have food from the garden. I honestly didn't know that was going to happen this year. Next door to it is the mainly cuke teepee with the one gigantes, which is getting away. You can see it's climbed about 30 centimetres in the 3 weeks since it was planted. Oh yes, so there's more fennel there and there. But I've also, I mean, these were literally, these are the cucumber, my own saved seed that was a last minute sowing. 15th of May. So I didn't sow these initially, did I? I'm getting a bit confused. Either way, they've really come on. And then that's the one behind it, which is now climbing. You can see it's tied into there. Can't we see any little fruits yet? Oh yes, look, a little fruit there. That's the one that Paul brought for me from his garden, that he's grown from his own saved seed, which originally started out as my saved seed. So this, it should be a variety called Long Green Maraîcher. Its actual name is Vert Long Maraîcher. It's a French variety. We're just translating it for you, Long Green Maraîcher. And as you can see, it's happy to grow outside. So if you don't have a greenhouse, have no fear, you can grow cucumbers outdoors in the UK. Next door, this is the curry that, is it called a curry or yuki? What's it called? Curry, red curry. Oh, there we go, that Paul brought, and there's a fruit forming, woohoo, and a couple of teeny tiny ones behind. Sorry, I have to stand up. And it was going into, so that's one of the spare tomatoes. I thought I'm going to grab some space, but for now I've just looped a string around the top stone so it can go up there for now. Right, so this is where I got to on the last video that you saw, And since then, but before the ribs broke, I've done a bit more clearing. Yay! More space, more space. So remember how I said I wanted to, so what I've done with this viburnum, I've pruned up about 70, 80 centimetres or so, pruned it all out under there. So you can see that the light gets much further, and as this afternoon light comes round, those two over there I'll come to in a sec, they get morning sun, and then from about 3:30, so fairly soon, I think it's about 3 o'clock at the moment, they'll now get light all afternoon. That under there is the manhole cover, and as you can see, I've done another 4 bags. I've got 2, one each of the dazzling blue kale and one each of purple sprouting broccoli, and I'm thinking I might try and get another brassica or 2 in there, or just coming back around this way, these 2 here don't seem to mind, so perhaps, in fact they look really happy and healthy. Perhaps I might do a couple more over here. I think I've got about 4 or 5 more of these black bags. I don't have much more compost. I've got a little bit there and 1 more full bag. I was going to use that for my sort of decorative pots. I might have to have a bag delivered and get them to deliver it right into the garden because I can't carry it. But yeah, maybe I'll do, as an experiment, I think I'll put a couple of brassicas in there anyway because I've got them. And there's some more in the bags behind me. And this lump, it was, the whole side was up when I found it. I found it under here, with all sorts more rubbish, more broken roof tiles, more scaffolding bits, just absolute rubbish. Plus, of course, weeds, that's all been really thoroughly dug to get all that sort of perennial and pernicious weeds out as best I can. And this thing was in there, which I'd sort of dumped here, and I haven't moved subsequently because I don't want to pick it up with my ribs being what they are at the moment. But what I thought was, you see, it's got that hole in the middle. I'm thinking, and I'm going to sit on this chair for a second to show. I was thinking to use it underneath the bird bath, just elevate the bird bath a little bit, but because it's got that hole through the middle, I've got a load of broken canes there and little bits and bobs of canes that I found around the garden as I've been tidying up. I thought I could stuff that hole with the broken canes, and then it becomes a little bit of insect habitat, doesn't it, either for some sort of solitary bee, or, well, any insect that likes to live in a little hole, a little narrow tube in the hole. So yeah, I mean, it's solid. It's kind of concrete. It's a lump of concrete. It's ugly and horrible. But pop the bird bath on the top, as in have it in this position, so that's running sideways. Bird bath on the top, and then underneath a little tiny insect hotel. Right. Sorry, lovelies, I am struggling a little bit at the moment with these naughty ribs, make breathing a little bit naughty. So, under here, let's get into the cool of the shade. That's another of my courgettes, and then that's the courgette that Paul brought, and you can see that's also got some fruits forming, so there's a nice good size one there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I see another 4 forming? There's quite a few male flowers coming. Yes, a total of, there's 4. So, they're neck and neck. I must ask Paul when he sowed this, because honestly I'm astonished at the rate that my green one that I just previously showed you has just galloped away. But yeah, they seem happy enough here. Look, I mean, they're producing flowers, they're producing fruits. Well, this one isn't yet, But this was such a tiny scrap when I put it in. And do you remember this also was the one that got attacked? So I have to put the slug collar on it, which I've taken off now because I think it's sturdy enough. And actually I can see all the flowers forming. Oh, that's wonderful. Fab. So that's kind of where I got up to with the work. Gave that a big prune, and of course, so all the prunings have had to be dealt with. So it's not just you go, oh, that's great, it's pruned, but it's the fact that now there aren't dirty great piles all over the garden of things waiting to be clipped, and chopped up small to be bagged up or to go into the compost. So yeah, I'm chuffed. But then work stopped. So I haven't done any more. So I'm starting to gather up all my rubbish. One thing to say when you're gathering up your rubbish, and even more bits of just nasty sort of concretey rubble, I just keep piling everything here, because then I'll get it cleared. I'll get a rubbish clearance and get it all done in one go, one fell swoop, so that it's one price. But if you are piling rubbish up, just be aware of where your air bricks are. That's a beautiful one, isn't it? They don't make air bricks like that anymore, do they? Those Victorians, they certainly had a few ideas about design, didn't they? But yeah, just make sure if you're piling yours up, don't pile them up above your air brick. So the next bit of plans, and again, I'm going to look, there's some of this I can't do, but you know what, there's certainly bits here that I can do, so I'm going to come on to that in the next video. What can I do? Have a can do attitude rather than a can't do, and part of that will be to start taming this Laurel Bay, whatever it is, it's all the same sort of family. So on this sort of whippy fleshy shoots, I can snip those with my secateurs. I could manage that. I could do it left-handed probably, but obviously I'm not going to tackle, well, you can't even see it now in there, the great big fat trunks. That would be silly for me to try and start sawing stuff before I'm healed. That would be ridiculous. But I can do the little stuff, and I can get it all chopped up and composted. Take hours. Likewise, crocosmia. For now, I've just brought up, this is some of the chopped up pyracantha that I'm going to start. It won't be on the concrete here, it'll go into the bed. This is for more, this is going to be a little log pile. Again, insect habitat, and it'll just slowly over time rot down. Yeah, gathering up bits and pieces like these tiles were, some are by the sheds, some are by the drain, so I thought I'd just bring them all over here out of the way for now. There were some here already, but bring the rest out over here, and let me now keep, obviously I've got the rubbishy bits, I've got all of, look, this is all to be dealt with, but where I have worked, let's now keep the area clean and tidy. Happy it is. Look at this stark contrast in the patio though. It's like half the patio is carpeted, half isn't. Honestly though, I'm delighted. I knew, I'm just going to sit on the back stoop a second. Oh, sorry. Look, I knew when I moved in that I would have a jolly good go at, getting weeds cleared this year, getting ivy cleared this year, getting trees that really shouldn't be here cleared this year. But I honestly didn't think I'd get to the stage where I would be planting a food garden. And already it just looks so, look, isn't that, it's just a picture of abundance, isn't it? I am so happy that I've pushed myself, on days when I thought, I can't be bothered, I want to just, curl up on the sofa with my book or whatever. You know how it goes, we all have days like that, but I've pushed myself because I know how great I'll feel afterwards if I do and get to this stage. And yeah, just keep plugging away at it, keep plugging, and then I'm at this stage. Yay! So this is me, 16th of June, and hopefully next time I'll do another tour. I'll do a July tour in a month's time, but you'll only have to wait maybe a week or so to see it, because the videos will have caught up by then. But hopefully by then I might have my first tomato to scoff, and I might have finished clearing the patio. Look at the state of it. Hey, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I think I've done pretty well in 6 and a bit weeks. Look, there's virtually, in the main body of the garden, no mess, no rubbish, no weeds, plants in, good growth, fruits forming. I mean, come on, you can't say better than that, can you? Yay! Can you tell I'm happy? I'm very happy. Alright, lovelies, I'm going to love you and leave you with that for now, and then in my next one, like I said, I'll be having a can-do video out here. What can I do despite all my broken body parts? Let's focus on what we can do rather than dwelling on and getting maudlin about what we can't do. So join me then for a can-do session. Until then, happy gardening and happy watching all of yours growing, and happy beginnings of harvests for you all by now too, I hope. So until the next one, for now, cheerio.